Hi guys! Today, our group is going to discuss about poem. In our group, we have Angelina Winata, Arif Rahman Risqullah, Gracellia Kane Winarto, and myself, Salsabilla Maharani Mutiara Gunawan. Without further ado, let's get started.
It's Sif from Lead and Sif by Emily Dickinson. It's Sif from Lead and Sif. It powders all the wood. It fills with alabaster wool the wrinkles of the wood. It makes an even face of mountain and of plain, unbroken forehead from the east unto the east again. It reaches to the fence. It wraps it rail by rail, till it is lost in fleeces. It deals celestial veil, to stamp and stack and stand, a summer's empty room, acres of joys, where harvests were, recordless, but for him. It ruffles waists of posts, as ankles of a queen, then steals its artisans, like ghosts. Tonight they have been.
Let's see literary elements of poems. In the literary elements of poems, there are two of them. The first is the theme, and the second is the tone. What is the theme? Theme is lesson about life or statement about human nature that the poem expresses. To determine theme, start by figuring out the main idea. So let's take a look at the poem from It's Sif from Lead and Sif by Emily Dickinson. In the poem It's Sif from Lead and Sif by Emily Dickinson, we can see that the main idea of the poem talks about the beauty of nature. One of the examples is mountain and plains, meaning we can conclude that the poem has a nature theme. Okay, let's see the tone of the poems. The tone of a poem is the attitude you feel in. The tone in a poem of praise is approval. In a satire, you feel irony. So in the poem It's Sif from Lead and Sif by Emily Dickinson, we can see that the tone in the poem is serious because the poem describes the beauty of nature and the tone used is serious.
Hello, now I'm going to explain the literary terms. First, the formatting. The rhyme of this poem is A-B-A-B. Each stanza has 4 verses. The style of this poem is quite formal, for it's written in olden days. The author wrote in realism, where it talked about mood and things in everyday life. The language is figurative and descriptive, so that the readers can foresaw what the author's purpose, and the poem uses the standard word. Next, the techniques. There are simile, symbolic, and personification because the author is talking about snow. The author wrote this poem because she was mesmerized about the beauty of the snow. So, we can conclude that the feeling is calm while adoring the snow. Wordplay. The poem gives metaphor in each word in each stanzas, so it's more normative and basic, so it gives us idealization. These are the verses that conclude the techniques. First, the similes. Next, personification. As you can see on the slides, I have attached all the verses that conclude personification. It and each verses means snow, and snow is not a living thing, so that I have concluded that all of these verses is personification. And the last one is symbolic. These verses conclude of symbolic, that means represent visual, tactile, and act from the author feeling to the reader.
Next is literary devices. The first is imagery. As a literary device, imagery consists of descriptive language that can function as a way for the reader to better imagine the world of the piece of literature and also add symbolism to the work. Imagery draws on the five senses, namely the scales of taste, touch, sight, smell, and sound. The poem It Sifts from Leaden Sieves by Emily Dickinson uses imagery that draws to the reader's sight and sense of motion. We can know it uses sense of motion's imagery from how the poet uses the word sift, reaches, wraps, ruffles, etc.
The definition of symbolism is the process whereby certain vowels, consonant, and suprasegmentals are chosen to consistently represent visual, tactile, and act from the outer feeling to the reader. And for the example, it belongs to the poetry by Emily Dickinson, where the title is It Sifts from Leaden Sieves. We could see in this verse that include it powders all the wood, and it fills with alabaster wool and the wrinkles of the road. That mentions by the death noun or benda mati, so it will interpret what kind of feeling from the outer. So in here, we could see it makes an even face of mountain and of plain. Mountain according to the big natural views that the author mentioned a relax or something like it's very happy and quiet. And sure, to the next verse, it refers to it wraps, it rail by, and then till it is lost in fleeces, it deals celestial veil. And sure, in the next verse, we could see a summer's empty room, acres of joints, where harvests were recordless but for them, and it ruffles braids of bows, as ankles of a queen, than steal its artisans. So all of the sentences are recording to the symbolisms part in poetry. And for the next part is similes. Similes is a part of literary devices that used to compare something with the outer indicator such as, like, and than. We can mention it in the poetry with this example. It ruffles wreaths of bows. And in this line, you can see than steals it artisan like ghosts. Here, like ghosts. So that's the similes.
And that's all from our group today. I hope you can increase your knowledge. Thank you for your attention and see you guys next time. Bye bye.